Imagine a book that doesn't just argue its thesis, it performs it in front of you, using the people in the room as evidence. Plato's Republic is that book. The five men at the dinner table aren't just debating five kinds of soul, they are the five kinds of soul. And Plato chose them on purpose. Plato's core move is isomorphism, same structure. The city is like the man. Every regime type has a matching soul type. At the top, the philosopher, ruled by reason. Below him, the timocrat, honor-loving and drawn to war. Then the oligarch, who loves property. Then the democrat, who loves freedom and the variety. At the bottom, the tyrant, ruled by lawless desire. Five regimes, five souls. Now watch what Plato does. He seats one specimen of each at the same dinner table. Meet the cast: Socrates, the philosopher, gold soul. Glaucon, bold, erotic, drawn to war. A silver-souled timocrat. Adeimantus, anxious about property and fine houses, an oligarch. Polemarchus, the first thing he does in the dialogue is call for a vote to force Socrates to stay. That's a democratic gesture, democratic soul. And the Thrasymachus, who bursts in, declaring justice is the advantage of the stronger, pure tyrant. In Plato, nothing is accidental. A gesture is a diagnosis. Consider Polemarchus's vote. A treatise would ignore it as stage direction. Plato planted it. Voting is the democratic instinct. Let the group decide by show of hands. That single gesture tells you what kind of soul is speaking before he opens his mouth on justice. Small actions carry enormous weight. A whisper, an arrest, a shouted insult, a raised hand. Each one names a soul type. Once you see this pattern, you can't unsee it. So we have five men at a dinner, but they don't stay put. As the conversation unfolds, each interlocutor climbs exactly one rung. Start with Glaucon. Early in the dialogue, he tells the myth of Gyges, a shepherd who finds a ring of invisibility and uses it to rob and kill. Glaucon argues nobody would stay just if they could get away with injustice, but at the end of Book 5, he repudiates that myth. He now admits justice itself is good. The timocrat has gained moral knowledge. Silver soul climbs toward gold. Now, Adeimantus, he began the dialogue fretting about property, a cautious oligarch. But at the start of Book 5, he does something astonishing. He physically grabs Socrates by the cloak and arrests him, demanding Socrates explain the community of women and the children. That bold confrontational gesture is not oligarchic. That's timocratic, the honor lover seizing what he wants. Adeimantus has been elevated. The man who worried about houses now lays hands on the teacher. Oligarch becomes timocrat. Polemarchus moves too. Remember, he called for the vote, loud, democratic, open. Later in the dialogue, he doesn't confront. He whispers. He leans over to Adeimantus and murmurs. Whispering is reserved, restrained, private, the mark of the oligarch who keeps his cards close. The democrat's openness has yielded to oligarchic discretion. He has climbed one rung. Notice the pattern. Each man rises by exactly one step, not two, not three. Education elevates gradually. Virtue is knowledge administered in measured doses. And Thrasymachus, the tyrant, critics say he disappears after Book 1, so he can't ascend. Wrong. Later, when the group calls a collective vote to keep Socrates talking, Thrasymachus joins it. The man who screamed that justice is domination now participates in a shared decision. The tyrant has become a social animal. He has become a democrat. Silent inclusion is the ascent. 5 men, 5 promotions, 1 dinner party. Here is the breathtaking point. The Republic argues that good education elevates the soul, and the Republic shows that elevation happening to its own characters in real time. The thesis and the demonstration are the same event. This is why Plato wrote dialogues, not treatises. The form is the argument. Next time you read the Republic, don't just read what's said. Watch who's speaking. Watch their gestures. Watch them change. The book isn't describing the ascent of the soul. It's performing it right in front of you.